here at the first ever episode of the Spartan Way. This is another podcast under the Spartan podcast umbrella. We told them it's coming.
It's coming. It's here.
Word is bond. Yes. If you're new here, if this is your first time here, we're part of the Spartan Up umbrella of podcasts. We're going to be bringing you bite-sized pieces of awesome, success-driven information every week with one thing to do, an action to do. We're super excited. Today, what we're going to be talking about is finding your true north. That's a topic that you talk a lot about. So you say finding your true north. What I say is your true north finds you.
It is hard for a lot of people out there. They're laying in bed, they're home, they're trying to figure out what they're good at or whatever. And somebody taught me this. I don't know if you use it. Somebody said, ask yourself, what would you do anyway, even if you knew you would fail? Right?
I've also heard, what would you do if you won the lottery? Money wasn't an issue. What would you do? What would you do for free? And I look back to these two lessons. I was in college and I had a bad internship teaching, and I left. This is before cell phones, so I got home, picked up the phone, and I called, said, I'm done with this teaching thing. I don't want to teach. I never wanted to do this. Switch me to a different major. I want to go into the fitness track. There's an envelope with my name, Zach, exclamation point. I open it up. There's a letter in there, and she says, Zach, 10 years from now, you pull into a parking lot. What building are you walking into? And she was kind of asking me, like, what's your true north? What were you put on this earth to do?
Right.
How did you find that, how did you come across what your true north is? How did it find you?
I'm a shotgun, right? I shoot in 100 directions.
True.
And you know that.
Very true.
And then one of them I noticed felt good, one of those directions, right? Health, wellness, torturing people, building this global movement, as opposed to all the other things I was doing. So you got to do a lot of stuff. Because if you get on one track and you're miserable and you're in traffic every day and you're complaining to your friends and your family, like, you got to try some other things. You got to open up your horizons and see what's possible out there.
Yeah.
Something might stick and feel good.
That's right. And that's going to build momentum. And I changed. I was teaching.
Yep.
And then one day had dinner with a friend of mine. And I was telling him, I'm training the athletes out of the park, out of the playground, out of my backyard. I'm doing the internet. I'm doing this. And he says to me, I think you were put on this earth to make people strong. And that's when I said, I got to open up a gym. But I also thought to myself, it's got to be deeper than a gym to just getting people strong.
Sure.
And your true north, you've got to seek it out. You've got to go and make mistakes.
It's going to require work.
Yep, it's going to require work. It will find you when you make mistakes. And I want to kind of paraphrase something that Dan Sullivan said from Strategic Coach. And he calls it unique ability, which is very much like true north. And he said, think about that one thing that you could be super excited about for the next 25 years of your life. That's going to just keep you motivated and excited. So that's what we want our listeners, our viewers to do. That's their action.
I love that you have all these references and people and you remember what they said. I had an organized crime boss say to me, there is a chair for every ass.
Oh my God. So that's what I want our listeners, our viewers to do is, I like your idea. Take a shotgun approach. You're going to change, you're going to pivot, and it's okay to evolve, right? It's okay to evolve. But what is that one thing that's going to fire you up for, if we're not saying 25 years, the next year, the next 5 years. So that's it for today's Spartan Way podcast. It was awesome. That's your action step. You can listen to us or find us anywhere Spartan Up Podcast. We got YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Spotify. Just look for Spartan Up Podcast. This is the Spartan Way. We're going to be coming to you once a week along with Spartan Up Podcast to just tackle and get after it with all things Spartan Way.
Do a few burpees. Catch you later.
See you later.